7:05, so we'll go ahead and get started. Gigi, you're going to lead us off with our invocation, prayer, and our pledge and four-way test.
Yes, I will. Dear God, we come together today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussions and allow us to grow closer as a group and nurture the bonds of community. We thank you for your many blessings and pray that you graciously grant us personal peace in our lives and joy in our tasks, confidence in what is good and fair, a sense of the welfare and true needs of people around us, the ability to work together in harmony and accept our differences, the strength to overcome challenges and achieve our mission. We ask all these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Let's wait for the Pledge of Allegiance. We pledge
Allegiance to the flag
Allegiance
to the flag of
the United States of
America,
to the
to the
republic
which it stands,
One nation under God, indivisible,
with
liberty and justice
for all.
Hoorah.
before we test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the
Is it
truth?
the truth?
Is it
fair
fair
to
to
all concerned?
Will it
Goodwill
will
and better friendship.
it be beneficial?
Beneficial to all concerned.
Thanks so much. It's a practice.
So, thank you for that, Gigi. Good job. Love that French accent, man. Could listen to it all day. So, Rick, I hear you're on. So, if you want to go ahead and do our birthdays and anniversaries.
Okay, but I don't have a French accent. Oklahoma accent, so strain your ears, see if you can hear. Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well this morning. We've got a few things to celebrate today. We'll get started off with wedding anniversaries. And Mark Reynolds, are you here today? Okay, well, Mark's missed us a couple weeks here. He and Jill have an anniversary coming up. Let's see, that would be Saturday. And club anniversaries, got several this week. And let's see, on the 9th, Billy Dodd. Billy, you here? Light attendance today. Jeff Tillman. All right, they were both on the 9th. And Danielle. There I see her. Danielle, how many years do you have? Count quickly.
Wow, I made it a whole year.
Yes, it is.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that. You just made my day.
We make our day to be a part of this club, and thank you for being a member. One big one, and John Holland. Nope, John's not here. John also has a 1-year anniversary coming up on the 10th there. Let's see, then we have some members who have their partners' birthdays today. I think I saw Kim Dane. Kim, are you here? No, guess I did not. Her hubby Brian had a birthday Monday. And how about Eric? Eric Durham, are you here? We're missing out. Well, they're probably going home and taking care of all of their brides' birthdays and stuff. And let's see, member birthdays. Let's see, Todd Nunn. Well, boy, I tell you what, I'm striking out today on birthdays. And Robert Gray. Gee whiz. Okay. Well, the one I was really looking for most. Everybody ready to sing a little birthday song today? Me, you. Tony, I think you have a birthday, my friend.
Yes, today is the day.
All right. Happy birthday to Tony.
I'm looking forward to the singing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tony. Happy birthday to you. All right. Many more, Tony. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Love to sing. Boy, we sound great too, don't we? All right, Mr. President, that is it.
Thank you, Rick. The weather's so nice. That's why nobody's here, man. They're all outside in the dark.
Can you blame them?
So we're going to do our football pool next. Mike, you have our pool.
Actually, if you can give me, I just saw that there's one more email that I got that I didn't score yet. So if you can come back to me in 5 or 10 minutes, I would appreciate it.
Yes, no problem.
Thanks.
So next announcement is our board meeting is October 13th. So that's in 5 days. It's at Chris Hampton's office. We'll be discussing alternative hybrid live venues. We've got a global grant discussion that's going to be going on. So I think there will be enough space that if people want to attend that haven't attended a board meeting and they need to check that off on their list, just to let me know so we don't have too many people. That is at Chris Hampton's office, and I can send that location to everyone. Also wanted to announce that Crescent is hosting their annual fundraiser tomorrow. It's a virtual reverse raffle from 6 to 9 p.m. Tickets are for sale on Eventbrite, and the link was sent in an email. So if anybody else needs that link, I'm sure everybody has my email. So if you need anything, just reach out to me. I don't see that David is on, David Lillard. But we had 2 service projects this weekend. David has posted the photographs from both of them on our social media sites. I took some from the roof. Is Matthew on? Yeah, no Matthew either. So we had, I want to say maybe 7 or 8 people over the 2 days. We were able to get the roof done. It looked great. Everybody worked hard. I think we finished well in time and did need to go back this upcoming weekend. So it was a great job by all. Lots of hard work, but it was good weather, so it was very nice. Is anybody on to talk about the other service project, Chip or Charlotte?
Hang on. There we go. All right, I'm unmuted. There we go. We had about 10 people turn out from the Satellite Club. We went to the Out of the Garden project. We loaded food for 250 to 300 families. There were about 200 cars. Some cars took more food than others for more than one family. We had special guests out there. Chris Justice, is he on? Our district governor to be. It took us about 3.5 hours. It was a great project. Very nice day to be outside. People were very grateful, and we had a great turnout from a 17-member, 18-member club. We had over half the club out there, so that was pretty good. Thank you.
Thank you, Chip. So, I mean, all in all, Gate City did a lot of good things in our community this weekend, and that ultimately that's the fruits of our labor in being in a club like this is we make the world a little better place through fellowship, through leadership, through service. So great job, Gate City. Y'all deserve a round of applause for making the world a little bit better. Mike, I'm not sure if that was 5 minutes, but are you ready?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay.
And actually, it was important that I did that because this person is in the running. I got to say, I didn't get much sleep last night for a couple of reasons, especially because I thought there was a tie at the low end, but someone else snuck in this morning. But I couldn't stop thinking about that, the most famous fly in America. If anybody watched the debates, I'll just say that, interesting thing. I had not seen a fly on someone's head for that long. Anyway, and is there, I want to mention a few names. I saw Tom Phoenix, and I saw Dennis Marcotte, and I saw Rick Martin. Is Kim Dane on? Okay, I guess not. Okay, so on the low end, Matthew Foster and Guy Ravondo. I don't know. I know Matthew says sometimes he's like Dan Quinn's moral advisor, and I thought that I guess maybe this time he was Guy Rabondo's football advisor. They were fighting for last place pretty seriously. They both were looking like a couple of the best losers with 16 right. And then I realized this morning there was one other sheet I had to score, and it was Dennis Marcotte's, because I saw his name, and then I realized that I didn't print his out. So I was able to score Dennis's, and he just snuck in there with 15.
Yay!
Yeah, you are the best worst
I'm the worst.
this week now. And on the top end, because I take this very seriously, Kim Dane's not here. There are several people in the running for top picks. With 20, you had Rick Martin, you had Tom Phoenix, you had Justin Plummer with 19, you had Mike Andrus. Kim Dane blew them all out of the water with 23, but she's not here. And it's kind of sad because I stayed up all night. The other reason I'm tired, besides the fly, thinking about her, the fly's welfare, is I wrote an original poem for Kim, but now I can't read it because she's not here. So she doesn't get the prize. She doesn't get the accolades. So the winner by the tiebreaker, so Rick Martin had 20. He picked the tiebreaker for Buffalo. He had 41 points. Tom Phoenix had 20. He picked Buffalo. He had 49 points. The total points were 53. So Tom is the repeat winner this week on the high end. Congratulations to Tom and Dennis.
So I didn't watch the debate, and I don't regret it, but what's the story with the fly, Mike?
Well, I'll be happy to share in greater detail. I won't get political, but when Mike Pence, he looked into the camera and he did his eye thing, like the sincere eye thing look, and he said that he was so caring and compassionate, he wouldn't even hurt a fly. But there's this fly that was kind of on his head for a long time, probably a good, 5-10 minutes. I eventually had to let our dogs out, and when I came back, the fly was gone. 2 minutes. Okay. But it seemed forever, to be honest. I mean, it's one of those things that, if someone has something on their face, like food or something, it's hard to look away. But eventually the fly left, and apparently the relationship is over because, Mike Pence flew back to DC with his wife, and I don't know how, I assume the fly is still stuck in Salt Lake City. But it was
the fly made top billing on CNN's review of the debate this morning.
Yeah, I'll have to find it on YouTube. So that's very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. So we do have a couple of live meetings coming up. We have the World's Greatest Meal and Pig Stock both coming up. Chip, do you want to make any comments on our World's Greatest Meal and Pig Stock practice cook?
Yes, the World's Greatest Meal is coming up at Gail Stansel's house, which is 26 Holly Springs Lane. We're going to get a sign-up sheet out. We thought we might get it out yesterday, but it didn't quite happen. We'll get it out sooner or later. I need some instruction. I'll get our fearless Secretary Steve Scott to help me with that, I hope. Right, Steve? And so anyway, should be going out pretty soon. We're going to have some fantastic barbecue. I've not checked in with my co-chef on this, Rick Martin, but I know that he's thinking barbecue. I can just tell by looking at him. He's thinking,
yeah. I've got the smoker warming up right now. I want to be ready.
There you go. And for November the 7th, we got Pig Stock coming. It won't be as big as last year's Pig Stock. It'll be a little more cozy, and it'll be hopefully as much, if not more, fun. So I've lined up a band, David Lynn, who has performed for some other things that we've done. I think at Lisa Simpson's house was the most recent. Great musician, plays all kinds of music, and he's going to start at 3 o'clock and play till 7 for Pig Stock. And so we'll get out a sign-up sheet on that soon. I don't want to have that walk all over the World's Greatest Meal. They come one after the other by about 2 weeks. So anyway, if anybody's interested in cooking something, getting involved in the contest, come on, let's do it. Let's try it. That's how you find your best new chefs. So anyway, I see Steve smiling over there. He's coming back for the dessert category. I hadn't heard from Ross, but who won last year, but Steve's coming back strong, and he certainly has the family experience. So that's it. It's going to be fun. We're going to raise some money for the World's Greatest Meal Project, and we're going to help wipe out polio, and then we're going to keep children of Vietnam afloat. So thank you very much. Y'all have a great day.
Yeah, let me just jump in and add one thing, Guy. With our World's Greatest Meal, this really is really important, in addition to just getting together for some barbecue, which is enough for anybody, right? World's Greatest Meal, that's where we raise the money for polio and Polio Plus. And I just remind everyone, we are so close on this thing. And with this unusual year we're having, it's going to make raising our funds even more difficult. So Mike Conrad has always been so kind and generous, and I mean, always so kind as he approaches people, you know, to ask them for the donations, never asking. I'm a little bit different. I'm kind of pushy. So I want everybody to show up, bring your checkbooks. Well, except for you, Chip, we won't take a check from you. But everybody else, you can bring a checkbook and invite friends. And let's really make an effort this year to make our attendance not be an issue as we raise our funds for this so important project that is Rotary's mainstay. So just encourage everyone to come. And if you have some friends that have big checkbooks, invite them along. And if they can't come, just ask them if you can take their checkbook. So anyway, look forward to seeing everyone there and raising some good money for Polio Plus. Thank you.
Yeah, so that meeting, that will be our meeting for the week. And it will be outside. It's going to be kind of block party style. People need to make sure that they are prepared to take whatever measures are necessary to keep themselves safe. Everybody needs to behave responsibly. Obviously, if you don't feel comfortable, keep a mask on. If you're comfortable enough to drink and eat, take your mask off. Just maintain adequate distance between you and other people. So that October 24th, World's Greatest Meal will be our meeting for that week. We won't have a meeting October 22nd. So, and Lisa, you are aware of that, right?
Yes, but I think it's the 29th that we're not having the meeting.
Okay, my mistake. Lisa's planning our speakers. So October 29th, we will not have a meeting. Let me write that down.
Let me check.
So,
yes, it's the 29th.
okay, so I know we are very good at notifying everybody. So as we get closer to that, so that's 3 weeks from now, we will not have a Zoom meeting. My goal and my intentions with our live hybrid meetings are to have a start meeting in November. So that gives us about 1 month to plan those and get them implemented. So we will have 2 more Zoom meetings, pure Zoom meetings, then hopefully no more pure Zoom meetings. So just for everybody's awareness. And if anybody feels really strongly about this, please reach out to me and let me know. I'd love to have people's opinions on how we meet and where we meet. Okay, Buster, you want to do our happy dollars?
Happy dollars, baby.
I've got 5 happy dollars.
5 happy dollars.
Yeah, the one that I'm just absolutely thrilled about is we are leaving on a sailing trip on the Chesapeake Bay tomorrow for a week, and I haven't been out there in quite a while and can't wait. Praying for good weather, etc. And the remainder of the dollars goes towards Mike Allen, who he could train anybody in the art of the filibuster. That's it for me.
If only others could be so amusing in their filibusters.
Amen.
Buster, I've got one I just happened to see as a Facebook memory that 9 years ago today, we hosted the Avett Brothers at the White Oak Theater.
Wow.
Wow.
Darlene Leonard. I think it was our most profitable fundraiser we ever had, I think.
Oh, that's incredible. That was a great night. That was really fun.
55,000.
How much was it?
55. The Avett brothers actually donated, I think, 18 or 19, if I remember correctly.
I think that's
Right.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
call them up, see what they're doing the next spring.
I've got a happy dollar. Yesterday it was 80 degrees, unusual for this time of year. And I talked my bride into taking off the day, and we went up to the lake and spent the lake 81 degrees actually. The water was still a little chilly, but what a great day. So put me down for a happy buck.
Very nice. Incredible. Anybody? Well, I have one. As y'all know, I've started my commercial real estate career, and I'm not exactly getting up at 6 in the morning and working till 6 at night. It's been a very nice pace. And the other day, the guy that I'm working with, a lot of y'all know Mike Fowler, he called me up and he said, well, I've got something for you. I'd like to bring it over. And so we sat in the backyard, and he said, you have to understand his company's about a year old. And he said, officially the largest commission the company has ever had. And he handed me my commission check. So I was very pleased. It was very nice. And I may not do anything else the rest of the year. So.
Buster, I've got one.
Oh, go ahead, Judge.
Again, Rotary is not a religious organization, but a number of us are in various faith communities, and it was an exciting day for the one that a few of us are in at First Presbyterian Church in Greensboro, as it was announced that we have called a new senior pastor, Dr. Jill Duffield, who is a UNCG graduate. She will be our first female senior pastor, and we've had some friends that have been part of our search committee of 10 for the last 2 years since our senior pastor, Sid Batts, had retired. So it's a great day for our community, not just for our church, and great things are ahead for us. So we're excited about that.
That's great. It's exciting. That it? Well, Grandpappy Lewis, that watching that debate last night, I thought about something he always used to tell me, which was a nation divided against itself cannot stand to hear what those other lunatics are saying.
All right. Thank you, Buster. Amusing as always. Lisa, are we going to introduce our speaker?
We are. Welcome, Chris Meadows. I think I see you there somewhere. Chris is one of the first satellite members, and I appreciate you being willing to come and speak to us this morning. We, as you know, planned not to have a speaker today because we originally thought we would be at the O. Henry meeting this morning. So I asked Chris if he would be willing to share with us this morning. So thank you, Chris, for getting up early and logging on. It's all yours.
Thank you, Lisa, and good morning, everyone. I'm really not a early morning person. The last time I woke up this early or set an alarm was about a year ago. I had to catch an early flight coming back from New York City. So I got my beauty sleep, Lisa, as I told you. I had to go to bed early. So, but it's great to be part of this this club, and as Lisa mentioned, part of the satellite club. I don't know who gets credit for recruiting me and starting that, but between Chip and Mark Littrell, I guess they can flip a coin. But anyway, happy to be here. And just tell you a little bit about myself. Again, my name's Chris Meadows. I'm a Greensboro native, born and raised. And as a side note, I'm running for political office for the NC State House in District 57. And I gave a introduction yesterday evening for a candidate forum, and I've lived in this district, this currently drawn district, for 46 years. And if you're into politics and how districts are drawn, so forth, that's I think unusual for most politicians and candidates. But so anyway, I've lived in the same general area basically all my life, and I'm a Greensboro guy. But I've been married to my wife Leslie for 23 years. October 26 years ago is when we first met, and it's hard to believe she's put up with me for that long, but she has. Well, she says she has anyway. We have 2 daughters. My oldest just graduated from NC State back in May, and I'm happy to say she's gainfully employed. And the last rent payment I paid for her was in May, so she's off my payroll. And I tell folks that, and they say, well, they're never really off your payroll. So for the time being, she's taking care of herself, and she's doing great. My second daughter, and I have 2 daughters, two kids. She is a sophomore at NC State. So as you can imagine, all my money goes to NC State. And she is studying finance in the Poole School of Management. And we're very blessed to have two happy, healthy daughters that seem to be doing well. And my day job is I sell alternative investments. And I've been in finance for about 25 years. I've been in the investment portion for about 15. The last 10 years, I've been under the very large umbrella of investment banking and raising capital for small banks, small companies, private equity funds, a lot of real estate, limited partnerships, and energy partnerships. Those things that are off market fall in the alternative investment space. And I went out on my own about 2.5 years ago. I was with an investment banking firm out of Dallas for several years, and my niche was raising capital for community banks. And I traveled a great deal. I would take off on a Sunday and get back on a Thursday, or leave on a Monday and get back on a Friday for a few months at a time while I was on a project. And enjoyed that, but it does get old after a while. I cannot imagine flying now, having to wear a mask everywhere and taking longer to get through all security. But before COVID, I had it down pat and down to a science. But when I left, I didn't have to fly quite as much, which is good. But I went out on my own about 2.5 years ago, and it's been a good move. I equate it to lawyers that may work for a large law firm and then go out and hang their own shingle. But the law doesn't change, just who you have to answer to changes. And so in the investment banking world, in the niche market that I was in at the time, the institutional investors don't change, and frankly, the people that put together offerings don't change. I deal with a lot of lawyers in the Southeast that put together bank offerings and other type of offerings like the private equity real estate type of offerings. And so that's what I do for a living. And that's really, that fills up my time every day. So been busy lately. I thank you for the time this morning.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir.
This is Jim Kennedy. Do you consider a SPAC an alternative investment?
A SPAC?
A special purpose acquisition company?
Yes, I'm not too familiar with that, but I would say that probably falls into it. Everything I do is non-public. It's off market. I'm not a financial advisor. I advise people or manage accounts. I have a database of investors on one side, and on the other side I have, like right now I'm working on some medical buildings and a corporate bond, a couple corporate bonds that are asset backed. And so I would take these and go to my database of investors and say, are you interested in this? And I would introduce the two. And the way I'm compensated is the investment sponsor would pay me directly. So I don't take any money from an investor. They pay the investment sponsor. And that I'm not familiar with the SPAC, but if you want to email me, we can sit down and talk about it. I'm just not familiar with that. But it sounds like an alternative investment.
So Chris, don't you live across the street from Ralph Jones?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell us some stories about Ralph?
Not yet. He's only been there, I guess, a little less than 2 years. But I haven't seen him run around the front yard naked or anything. That's good. We've been in my house almost 6 years, but I've been in New Irving Park. We moved into New Irving Park in 1974. My parents did. And when it was actually much smaller than it is now. If you're familiar with the area, Willoughby stopped about, if you're heading out, stopped about Lake Forest. So everything after that was woods. And so I've seen the neighborhood grow a lot. And I bought the house from my mother after my father passed away. She wanted to downsize. And so I'm living in the house that I grew up in. Been here a long time.
I love that story.
We had to change a lot or update a lot. We had to put in a new kitchen, and like most of the houses over here, my mother will be 82 soon, and you know, they did a new kitchen in the mid 80s, so we had to do a fair amount. We still have some stuff to do.
So, and how do you know Mark Luttrell?
His wife and my wife are in the Greensboro Symphony Guild together. And my oldest daughter was a Symphony Deb a few years ago, and Mark was the Master of Ceremonies. And that's when I met Mark for the first time. And we've become friends. He's a great guy. We love them to death, and just fine folks. That's all I got.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you being our last minute speaker. Well, I don't have much else. I did want to mention to the whole club that our district governor does want our whole district to be aware of membership. One of the questions he asked is, if I met one of your club members and asked them how many members you have in your club, would they be able to answer it? So with our honorary members, which are 4 members, we currently have 85. 81 of those count. So we're currently at 81 people. I set a goal of us being at about 84 with our satellite membership by the end of the year. I heard somebody mention a birthday earlier. Rick mentioned a birthday of somebody that's no longer in our club. So I haven't been announcing these at our Zoom meetings because it's already boring enough and depressing enough to not add on top of that. So we have lost a couple of active members. Hopefully once we get back to live meetings, we'll probably come back to some, recruiting maybe some of these people back if they're interested. We do have an initiative in the club to reach out to old members and see if they're interested in coming back. So Darlene comes to mind for me. So if any of you guys know any of our former members and want to reach out to them and invite them back, they may have had it in their head and just not acted on it. Like, hey, I'm ready to go back. So reach out to those guys and just put a bug in their ear that if they want to come back, we're happy to have them back. So I'm gonna end our meeting here. We're very early. If people want to chat or talk or whatever, I'll leave the meeting open. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great week. Enjoy the nice weather, and I will see you next week or at the board meeting.